have dreams and they're looking for opportunities to make such dreams come to pass, including myself. Welcome to Omti Creative Online Talks. And today we are going to talk about something. What causes human trafficking? I know you might be knowing some of the causes during our last conversations. So today I want to just share with you most of the common causes of trafficking. I'm going to begin with poverty. Poverty is one of the contributors of human trafficking or to human trafficking. It contributes so much to human trafficking. You find like in a family where a single mother or a family that is struggling to raise children, that has so many children, but then they cannot even afford food for a day or a meal for a day, and they're struggling to make ends meet by the end of the day. But then a trafficker comes with an opportunity that, you know what, there's a job in this place. Can you come in a city? I'm going to offer you a job. And because they are desperate, they're looking of how to make their family survive, they fall victims of trafficking. And in most cases, when families or a person is poor, they cannot resist such opportunities. Also, we have seen families that sell their own children to traffickers, not because they want, but because of the situations that are pushing them to do so. There's a story in Karamoja that was covered by NBS, and there's a family that was selling children at 50,000 shillings. And these parents sell their children because they cannot afford basic things like maybe sugar, soap in the family. So they believe that when they sell a girl child or they sell a boy child or any other human being and they get the 50,000, they will move on for a day, for a week. But the question is this sustainable? Of course it's not. But it causes people to sell their own relatives. It also causes people to begin a business of trafficking. So people become traffickers because they are poor. They live in poverty situations. Another cause of human trafficking is lack of education. When there's lack of education, there's a decrease in lack of knowledge about your rights. And there's also a decrease in finding job opportunities because you don't have the skills, first of all, but also you're not aware of the opportunities that exist around you because you can't read, because you cannot write. So this makes it very easy for the traffickers to look at people who are illiterate. And we have found people that there are contracts that are signed they give you in English or in another language because you don't know how to read. You just sign to things that you don't know. That's why there are people who are signing contracts that say, you know what, we're not going to be paying you money. This money is going to go to someone else. But because you don't know how to read, you don't know how to write, it's very easy for a trafficker to use you for their own benefit. I'm going to also talk about the conflicts and the natural disasters as one of the causes that cause human trafficking. When there are natural disasters, there's displacement of people. People leave their countries, people leave their homes to go to other places. And while in this transition, you're transiting from one place to another, and you're thinking of where can I go because of a disaster, someone uses that opportunity, a trafficker uses that opportunity, and they realize that you are in need. So they come and tell you, you know what, there's this job opportunity in the city, there's this opportunity in Oman, can you come and join us? And because you are pushed by this factor of the natural factors, you don't have where to sleep, you don't have what to eat, you cannot even have anything to dress up, so you are pushed to go and look for opportunities. And these opportunities sometimes, they're not legit at all. They're not. And this is one of the causes that really affects so many people. That's why, where I come from, in the eastern part of Uganda, many people, there's a lot of landslide in Bududa where we are affected like so much. And so you realize that trafficking happens so much in these areas because there are landslides, there are floods that happen like in Kasese. So people are so vulnerable and they fall so easily as victims of human trafficking. Then families that there are conflicts because people are not agreeing. Where there are conflicts, there are also broken marriages and or broken families. So someone feels like they're left out, they are alone. And traffickers are looking for people who feel like, me, I feel like I don't belong here, I belong somewhere else. Maybe I'm not loved. So when a person comes and they're convincing you, you feel like maybe when I go outside this country to go and work, say in the Arabs, I will be loved. Maybe when I go to the city, I will be loved. I'll find people who love me. So because of those broken families and conflicts, many people have fallen victims of this vice of human trafficking. And then I'm also going to talk about the socio-cultural factors. In most of the societies, there are arranged marriages. This happens so much in Africa, where they arrange marriages for young people. Someone may have a date, and then they want to clear that date with another family because they are poor, and so they're trying to say, I'll give you my daughter. You get. So this daughter is paying someone's debt, the family's debt, or the parents' debt, and we realize that because there is this arranged or the cultural bit of it, that the young child gets married when they are young because there's this culture that goes on. And also the sacrifice. They believe that when you sacrifice, blood has a very important role that it plays. That it makes you prosper, it makes you get whatever you want when you shed blood. So that's why there's a lot of sacrifice. There was a sacrifice that was made in Uganda by some people that are not known. They sacrificed a child, but they did not stop there. They first defiled the girl. After doing that, they cut her head off, and this head was brought to the Speaker of Parliament of Uganda. It's really sad. But in these sacrifices, they believe that when blood is shed, everything flows well. And so this happens so much in Africa that child sacrifice or human sacrifice is considered as something very important. So which makes it bad that it causes human trafficking in a way. And then there's also the high pay of trafficking. Trafficking attracts a lot of benefits or a lot of profits. I know you might be there and thinking, do I have to join trafficking so that I can earn a lot of money? Of course not. It's not a very good business. Many traffickers, like we're talking earlier on, we have seen that the children on the streets are required by their bosses, the traffickers, that you have to bring 20,000 shillings per week. Imagine someone having 20,000 shillings, like from 60 children. How much is that money? That is a lot of money. And if someone has they're practicing sexual trafficking, then you find that they'll tell a young girl that in a day we want 100,000. So by the end of the month, this trafficker has a lot of money that they have on table. But because trafficking attracts a lot of profits. And then I'm going to talk about lack of knowledge or experience. When you find a young teenage boy or girl that doesn't know anything about trafficking, there's not even experience, it's very easy to convince and persuade them into it. And it's very, very common that young girls and boys who are not aware about this vice fall victim. They are lured into it because they don't know anything about it. They don't know that it exists. That's why we are taking our time to explain, to talk about it more and more, that trafficking literally exists. So if you hear this information and you have young people around you and you have old people around you, share so that people are informed about what trafficking is all about. So, and I also want to talk about the demand for cheap labor as one of the causes of trafficking. In most of the countries, there are so many companies, there are so many industries that want to produce so much, they sell highly, and yet using the cheap labor that exists. And this cheap labor comes from people who are so vulnerable, like the women and children, who cannot even say no to it. So because the traffickers want to sell the goods and products at a higher price and get more benefits, they demand for cheap labor, which causes human trafficking and child trafficking at large. And there are also lack of immigration options. We realize that most people are smuggled into other countries. Like in Kenya, there was a report that Kenya is one of the routes that Ugandans pass through to go and find job opportunities that side. But on those borders, these girls are smuggled. They don't have anything. They don't have work permits on them. They don't have, most of them don't have passports, but they cross through Kenya. They cross the border of Uganda to go to Kenya. That's what I'm trying to make. But it's really, really something that they don't have any immigration options for them to have, like, okay, I need to move when I have a work permit, I need to move when I have a passport. But because these traffickers are connected, they can easily transport people from one area to another, so easily like that. So there are so many causes of trafficking, but for now, we are going to stop on those ones, and next time I'll add more of what causes trafficking. Thank you so much. My name is Sharon Halitza. Until next time, bye-bye.